What's up, everybody? So we're back out in the shop with another Shop Talk Tuesday, and in this episode we are talking in the shop. I am hand sanding one of the builds for the show that is literally this weekend for a blade show. Now, of course, I'm going to be at table 13F if you want to come check it out. But we are working on, of course, this guy right here. It's one of the chef's knives. It's a collaboration with me and Chad Kimmel. I've got the bolster looking pretty good so far. It's all faceted. Just going through all the grits on it right now, and trying to clean it up, trying to get everything looking absolutely smooth and awesome before I do things like put the maker's marks on it. It's gonna have both my maker's mark and Chad Kimmel. He's the guy that we did the collaboration together with, and he's gonna be at the table with me. And I'm just waiting on his maker's mark to get here. It's supposed to be here today, and I'm gonna go ahead and get those put on here. But yeah, I am getting this wrapped up. This is the last build that I need to work on prior to leaving for the show. Now, I did a lot of stuff leading up to this show, and one of the things that I kind of want to hit on is that there's not a lot of videos that tell you what you should prep for to go to a knife show, especially a big one like Blade Show Texas. It's a very large show. But people don't really tell you about how you're going to accept payments. You know, I have a website. They can do whatever they need to do on the website. It's up to them. They can pay with all kinds of different ways. But in person, it's a little bit different. Are you going to accept only cash? Are you going to accept cash and card? And if you're going to accept cards, how are you doing that? Are you going to get like a square thing to where they can swipe their card, all that type of stuff? What are you going to do? Have you got that set up? Have you done all the stuff to make sure all that's legit? Are you going to use PayPal, Zelle, Cash App, Venmo? What are you going to do? If you're going to only accept cash, are you going to bring change with you? Do you have enough change to be able to give people change back if you are selling something for $375 and they only have $400 on them? Are you going to give them $25? Do you have $25? You know, there's a lot of things to think about with stuff like that. Plus, you know, trying to think through the logistics and the timeline leading up to the actual show. So not just how you're going to accept payment, but what are you going to bring with you? What do you need to do to make sure that you're bringing everything with you that you set out to? Now for me, I originally set out to do like about 50 blades. So I was going, you know what? I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to bring about 50 knives with me, and we're going to see how that goes. Now, of course, I'm only bringing about 35 to 37 with me. And that's still quite a bit. You know, that's not a little bit of knives. 10 is a little bit of knives. 35, 37, that's a lot. Now, 50 was kind of a unrealistic expectation, but there's other things you got to think about on top of just the whole, what are you going to bring? How are you going to accept payments for it? It is the timeline leading up to it. So for me, I slowly narrowed it down to about 35 blades because you have to be realistic with how many you're going to be able to finish. I've got about 20 hanging on these little bars, these little hooks right here, and then about another 5 sitting on the tabletop that are in various states of completion. Almost all of them are either just ground and bevels done and heat treated, but they still have to have handles put on them and profiled and all that stuff. I don't have time to do all those. So those are going to be prepping for the next show, which is going to make my life a little bit easier. But, you know, it's trying to think through your timeline. Okay, I've got to get as many blades done by this point because I got to start making sheaths for them. How long is it going to take me to make sheaths? It's probably going to take me a while. For me, it kind of was a little bit easier because I'm not really a sheath maker. That's not something that I do a lot of. Can I make a cool sheath? Yes. Yes, I can. Can I make a beautiful sheath? Not really. I can make a pretty decent leather sheath and a cool looking Kydex sheath. Now, could I have just done a whole bunch of Kydex sheaths? Probably. But whenever you got these like super custom crazy knives, just putting it in Kydex doesn't make sense. And the cool thing is there's a lot of nice awesome leather workers out there that can make beautiful sheaths. So if somebody buys one of my custom builds, they can always take it to a person who makes sheaths that will make it perfect for that actual knife. I am not that good at that. I've still got a lot of work to do before I'm an amazing sheath maker. And if I'm selling like a $800 knife, I don't want to put some crappy sheath on it. I would rather put it in a nice padded case and then give that to them, and then they can go ahead and have a sheath made for it later from a professional leather worker. Now, the other thing that I have to think about is, do I have time to even make sheaths? No, I really don't, because just the knife making and the YouTube in general take up so much time. If I was just a knife maker and I didn't do YouTube, I would have plenty of time to go ahead and make sheaths and practice on that craft and everything like that. But I don't really have that because, you know, I do the YouTube videos and I have to think about filming and putting things together and camera stuff and getting everything ready, and then doing the lives on the weekends and making sure I have propane and all that stuff, on top of the fact that I've got to do regular knife making and I also do life insurance. It's a lot of work. Having basically 3 jobs: life insurance, knife making, YouTube. It's 3 jobs that I work. And on top of that, I'm a dad, a husband, and I got a lot to do. So something had to not be done, which was sheaths. And of course, I'm able to do several other things to make it work, but like what I did to make my cases a little bit better, the little patty cases, was I actually did some little leather zipper pulls where I actually stamped the TRE into all of them, cut them all out, did all the stuff for them, made them super unique, and I think that they turned out pretty cool. As a matter of fact, I'm gonna go grab one real quick, so you're gonna see me in a couple of seconds. And this right here is what they look like. So of course, I did my little TRE stamp in there. Now, it was kind of a pain in the butt because I had to individually stamp every single leather and letter. So all of the T, the R, and the E are all individual stamps, and I had to do that for 37 of these. So it was a lot of stamping, and of course I had to cut all of them out. So cut all of them out, hole punch every single one of them, clean up all the edges, the back, all that stuff, get the little tags, and then I had to cut every zipper pull off of this. So all the metal zipper pulls that were on there, I cut all of them off. I got a brass ring to go with it, and this is one of the ones that's actually going with me. So a lot of people like this particular build right here. It's got a piece of Mocha Megane for the guard. Nice burrow wood, and then of course the antler. That right there is going to be going. That's going to be for sale. And I've got a whole bunch of other ones, but yeah, I wanted it to be something unique. You know, that way it actually has my TRE logo on the actual case, and every single one of these has that tag. And then that way everything is kind of unique and individual and stuff like that. I wanted it to stand out just a little bit because I wasn't going to be making sheaths for everything, but they are going to have nice padded cases for all the builds. Now, again, it was just thinking through, what am I going to be able to do with the time that I have allotted? And trying to edit down some of the grand schemes that you have going on in your mind. And I was able to do that. I was able to complete a lot of knives. I was able to get all my ducks in a row and do things like that. And then think through making sure that I have all the different type of apps to be able to accept different types of cards or payment options, and then making sure that I have cash that I can take with me so that I can get people change back and do things like that. And then also making sure that I'm bringing enough blades to make it actually make sense so that people have a decent option or selection. And then also I wanted to be able to show off a lot of the YouTube builds, because there's going to be a lot of people coming to check out them because they've seen them on the videos, but they've never seen them in person. And this will give everybody the opportunity to hold a lot of them, check them out, look at them, cool things like that. I think it's really cool. And I'm really excited about people being able to come up and chat at the table and just hang out and say what's up, say hi, and get to meet a lot of y'all. Because typically whenever I go to Blade Show, I'm walking around, filming, talking to people, things like that. It's kind of hard to pin me down. And I will be at a table, 13F, for most of this time. And it'll be pretty simple for y'all to be able to come up, know exactly where I'm at, say what's up, take some pictures, say hi, all those types of things. And I think it's going to be pretty cool. And one of the things that I'm looking forward to is actually being able to chat with a lot of y'all. And so I just want to make sure y'all understand, don't be afraid to just walk up and say, hey, Eric, how are you doing? My name's blank. Just go ahead and say that and come up and talk and have a good time. It's going to be fun. And I'm excited to being able to just hang out and, see what y'all are all about. So we're going to have that. I think it's going to be really cool. I am bringing things like the Samurai Challenge sword. I am bringing the World of Warcraft, the Fantasy Challenge build-off build. I am bringing a whole bunch of the builds that a lot of people really, really, really like. Those are going to be coming with me. The Insanity builds will be there. If you don't know what all those are, you can pretty much look up any of these names that I'm saying in the search section, and you'll actually be able to find them. And it's going to be really cool. I think it's going to be a fun time, and I probably should have started with a smaller show as my first show. Blade Show Texas, right out the gate. It's probably not the smartest idea, but I think it's going to be cool. And luckily I have a veteran person like Chad Kimmel who's going to be there with me, helping me out. And then we'll also have Matt Rich, which is really, really cool. And I'm going to be filming a video on Thursday before I actually leave to go down there. One of my friends, Steve Jennings, is dropping off a power hammer. So we'll have that in future videos, and I'm going to do a video on getting it dropped off and all that stuff, and then we'll be talking and everything like that. Plus, I've got Matt Rich who's going to be here in the shop. We're going to do some hammer-in style things. We're going to do some forging, some bladesmithing, get him used to some of this stuff. I'm going to film a little bit of that, and I think it's going to be a good, fun time. I think y'all are going to have a lot of content to watch. Now, the cool thing is we have a lot of blades that we have forged on these Saturday live streams, and we're going to be able to actually go through and finish those builds over the next few weeks. I say a few weeks, but it's like 2 months worth of builds that I have already done, and we're still going to be forging every Saturday. Now, except for this next Saturday. This next Saturday, well, Friday and Saturday, we're going to be doing some live streams at the actual show. So I'm going to do a live stream at like 1 or 2 p.m. on Friday, and the same thing on Saturday. Live stream for about an hour, 2 hours, talk with y'all, hang out, do things like that. I think it's going to be fun. I think y'all are going to enjoy being able to see Blade Show and stuff like that, and ask me questions about what's going on and what it's like, and do those things. So I think it's going to be fun. Y'all have a lot of content to be able to watch for a long time this year. We have a lot of builds that we've already done to get ready to be able to do the next steps in. We're going to be making a knife every single Saturday. I mean, think about that. If we're forging a knife every single Saturday, that is 52 knives just in that. You know what I mean? That gives us, by default, at least a build to work on every single Shop Talk Tuesday. Plus, we'll have other things that happen later during the year. There's a lot of things that we're going to be doing this year. It's going to be an amazing year. I'm happy that a lot of people who have subscribed. I don't know how many of y'all are going to be watching this particular video because it doesn't have a whole bunch of knife making and things like that. But don't worry. We're going to have plenty of knife making moving forward. I just wanted to take a second while I'm doing all this hand sanding, because it's not exactly the most interesting thing in the world, and go ahead and get a video done. I think we did that. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to get back to hand sanding, and y'all go ahead, be on the lookout for the post notifications for the live streams. I'm going to be giving y'all plenty of advance warning before I start going live for both Friday and Saturday, so y'all have that. Guys, I'm looking forward to talking to y'all at Blade Show. Come by, say hi, and definitely say hi on the live stream. Y'all have an amazing day. Y'all stay safe out there, and I'll catch y'all next time.